Hi everyone, it's Don once again, and this is construction update number 143. Today, I'm out here in front of the Saluki Recreation Center that just opened up here in the Villages. This is down in the village of Moultrie Creek and Shady Brook. It's a beautiful place. We'll take a look inside during this video. We'll also take a look at Middleton, Eastport, some of the commercial properties under construction here in the Villages. So let's get started. The Saluki Recreation Center is currently the farthest south recreation center in the Villages, and it's located between Shady Brook and Moultrie Creek. So starting out, the Saluki Recreation Center has the resort-style pool as we've seen common on the areas south of State Route 44. So the real question is, what is a Saluki? Well, a Saluki is the oldest known breed of dog. It dates back about 6,000 years and originated in the Fertile Crescent area of the Middle East. Okay, I've almost exhausted my knowledge on the Saluki. It's also known as a sight dog. It uses its sight and its great speed for hunting instead of using its nose or sense of smell like most other dogs do. Okay, I'm done. That's what I know. Like other village recreation centers, Saluki has several pickleball courts and a couple of tennis courts. Also at Saluki, they have the typical shuffleboard and bocce. They have outdoor exercise equipment, and I know, last video I said that this was something new. I've been corrected. Apparently, I haven't been really paying attention to what's at some of these recreation centers, and many of them now have this outdoor recreation equipment at some of the smaller recreation centers and not just at the regional recreation centers. The Saluki Recreation Center opened up on June 6th, and I'm going to give you a quick look around inside of this very beautiful recreation center. But first, since we're talking about dogs, here's a quick non-profit moment about Hope Service Dogs. These folks do some great things with dogs to help people. Let's take a quick non-profit moment. It's Hope Service Dogs. They breed, raise, and train service dogs, therapy dogs, and companion dogs for those in need. Doing this takes a lot of time, effort, energy, and money. You can help them by going to hopeservicedogs.org and making a donation to their efforts. So in typical Villages fashion, the inside of the Saluki Recreation Center is all about dogs. Fortunately, it's not quite so over the top like the watermelon was at Franklin or some of the wallpaper there at the Aviary Rec Center. This is very nicely, tastefully done, but it's definitely themed towards dogs. It's very beautiful, and they've done some really nice things. Lots of great pictures and decorations, all related to the dogs. Inside in the game rooms, they have the table shuffleboard, they've got foosball, they've got a pinball machine, darts, and many other things like ping pong, and of course outside is the beautiful pool that they've built. Most of the area around Saluki is in the village of Shady Brook, which is still heavily under construction. They have lots of outside stuff also, but there is two flaws that I found with Saluki. Here we go. So remember, Saluki is all about the dogs, but there is no dog park nearby. The nearest one will be built in Eastport. And the biggie, there are no dogs allowed inside. Come on, it's time to change the rules just a little bit. If you're going to talk about dogs, then let's have some dogs. I think it's fair to say I'm just a little bit biased towards dogs. Our next stop is up at Magnolia Plaza, where they're building a new CVS store. So right on the corner of Marsh Bend Trail and Warm Springs Avenue is where they're going to build a CVS. Here you can see that they've already started clearing the land and making lots of preps. Just be clear, this is not an amenity. Amenities are recreational facilities, not commercial businesses. That's something that's often confused by many Villages residents. I have no idea when this store is going to be open, but if the last one is any indication, it'll probably be about 6 months. Let's face it, we're not as young as we once were. Climbing those old-fashioned attic stairs to get the Christmas decorations down or to stow those family treasures is just too dangerous. Majic Stairs is the safer alternative. Real steps with safety rails at a safer angle and safety rails in the attic provide the safest attic access available. Having troubles getting things to and from the attic? The Majic Attic Lift can be there to help. Designed by Villages resident Ron Berner, every Majic Stairs and Majic Attic Lift is custom built in their Ocala, Florida factory and installed by their technicians. Why take chances? For less than the cost of one emergency room visit, you can have Majic Stairs installed in your home. Majic Stairs, the safer, more convenient alternative. Let's scoot on up now a little bit to the north to 466A and Powell Road and this area to see what's being done there. First up is the new Mr. Car Wash that's being built. It's coming along quite well, and it looks like they're getting ready to put some of the finishing touches on it. The towers that you see here are for the vacuum system for cleaning out the inside of your cars. Mr. Car Wash is a national chain of car washes, and apparently they have some pretty good deals on car washes. It's not real clear yet what the direction of traffic flow is, whether the cars go in the front by 466A or they go in the back by 7 Mile Road, and then which way they come out. And then having the vacuum system in between what looks to be the entrance and the building kind of adds a little bit to the confusion. But we'll see when it opens up what it looks like and how it works. Now I think we've cleaned up on this topic, so let's head a little bit to the north where Powell Road and US 301 meet and a new 7-Eleven is being built. At the top in the middle is the foundation for the store, and you can see the canopy structure being built. The blue lines apparently are the fuel lines that feed each of the pumps from the underground tanks. I was kind of surprised. I always thought those would be hard piped, but what do I know? Across from the 7-Eleven is where the Twisted Oaks development is being built. It's about 1,200 houses. They're also straightening out 462 so you don't have to jump on 301 and then jump back off. They're putting in a couple of traffic circles, which are very popular these days throughout the state. It won't be too much longer now until they start breaking ground and going crazy building homes. Let's go someplace new now, up to the intersection of Buena Vista and 466A, where they're building an indoor pickleball facility. The Pickleball Club of the Villages is building a new facility. It's an indoor pickleball facility, and it's right there on the corner of 466 and Buena Vista. Interestingly, the name, the Pickleball Club of the Villages, that's always been kind of a sticky spot around here. The developer is very particular when people start saying of the Villages or something like that. They try and protect their trademark and their logo. It'll be interesting to see where that one shakes out, or if there is any challenges to it. This is actually one of 2 major pickleball facilities that's being constructed outside of the Villages, targeted at Villages residents. The other one is down on 44, and I'll try and cover that in the next video. For now, we'll continue to look at this one. It's a pretty good sized facility. It looks like probably about a dozen pickleball courts will be inside. But the real interesting part is what's behind it. It's the softball fields that are located next to the polo grounds. With the close proximity to the softball field parking lot, it's not a far stretch to know exactly what's going to happen. People are going to be cutting through here to get to the new pickleball facility. It'll be interesting to see how that's handled. I've overheard a lot of people talking about this new facility, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be a pretty big hit. We're going to head back down south again to the new Richmond area and to where Harry and the Natives is being built. This new area of Richmond is being built on the east side of Megason Road. Maybe it's not going to be called Richmond. I don't know. There's always that possibility they'll come up with a new name. One of the nice things that's happening is they've extended the walking path from the Okahumpka Recreation Center all the way up so it connects to the current cart path that goes over to Brownwood, so you don't have to cross over to the west side of Megason if you decide you want to walk from St. John's all the way to Brownwood. This new area is going to consist of about 150 homes. The majority of them at the south end will be designer homes, and at the north end will be a collection of veranda homes. Veranda homes being basically designer homes with a fenced-in yard. Why they've waited so long to do this area is beyond me. What I do know that there's going to be a huge demand for this. I've heard many people talking about it. They've had many questions asked of me of when it's going to open up. I don't know, though my best guess is sometime around the end of summer they'll have these houses up for sale. I was looking back at some archive video I have from several years ago this afternoon, and I was amazed at how dense the undergrowth was in this area, and again how long it took to clear this area because it was so dense before they could start building.
We've got all wood veneers, period. Dovetail construction on the drawers, full extension slides on the drawers. Nobody will beat our quality, nobody will beat our service, but again, it's all about lifestyle and aesthetics for your beautiful home. Murphy Office.
All this rebar that's laying out is being used for the steel reinforcements of Harry and the Natives. Here you can see some of it being wired together and different subsections put together for future use. This low-level flying in and amongst the trees is probably some of the most challenging and difficult flying I do for making these videos, because not only do I have to worry about what's below me, but what's above me. You can see the low-hanging Spanish moss. If I catch a little bit of that, the drone is going down, and then it's a real pain. Because this is a construction area, I gotta make phone calls so I can get in there and retrieve my aircraft. Not something I really want to do. This is some of the trenching that's been done for the foundations. Much larger than what you'd see in a house, but it's a much larger building. But it's also got the challenges of being built adjacent to a natural wetlands area that they have to take into account. Lake Okahumpka is a natural lake, but it's very shallow. And as you can see as I turn around, it's been a challenge that they've lost in trying to keep the harbor area clean that was built. There's been a huge growth of aquatic plants that have really plugged things up. I just don't see this as being too successful anytime in the near future, because I don't think they can ever overcome this growth. They spent a tremendous amount of money during construction dredging out this area and pumping all the muck out so that they could build this little natural harbor. It's apparent, though, that they have given up on that effort just based on the amount of growth here. It seems to be a lost cause. When I was shooting this, there was nobody out on the boardwalks, so I figured I'd test my flying skills a little bit more. I got very lucky on this flight, that's for sure. Let's run all the way back up to the north end of the villages again and take a look at Marabella Villas and Blondie's. Marabella Villas is 25 courtyard villas that are being built next to the Cordoba recreation area, both of which were the site of the old Hacienda Hills Country Club and Pool. Work has started in earnest with getting the underground utilities in, the deep utilities, which is storm drains and things like that. It won't be too much longer till they start doing the shallower utilities and then getting ready to build the homes. I would expect to see homes ready for sale sometime very late summer in this area. The dark path going through the upper portion of the screen appears to be the groundwork for a multimodal path passing through these courtyard villas. Also in the last week, Blondie's opened up with not too much fanfare or excitement about it, but it's a nice addition to the Spanish Springs area. And no, this is not an amenity either. This is a commercial establishment. I do have to give the designers credit. It is a very attractive establishment, and the touch of yellow and blue at the top of the building for the signage and the accent piece are definitely extremely attractive. I haven't seen any hours yet posted for Blondie's, but I'm going to assume that it's going to be open from probably 4 in the afternoon until 9:30 at night to coincide with the entertainment in the square. Country Village Power Equipment and Golf Carts is the place for all your Yamaha golf car needs. Family owned and operated for over 20 years in the city of Webster, carrying the full line of both gas and electric Yamaha golf cars, Country Village will build one to your specification, including the latest in lithium batteries. Country Village has a large selection of parts for both gas and electric golf cars, and unlike some other dealers, sells directly to the consumer. Service for your new and current golf car is available at your home or in store. Each new golf car includes an unmatched 6-year warranty. For the best value in golf car ownership, come to Country Village Power Equipment and Golf Cars. We'll head south again now to the Eastport area and see what's going on there. As we take off, the first thing we see is the area for the sand courts for games like beach volleyball. Continuing on, we can see that they've started laying out the red clay for the ball fields here at the Farragut Ball Fields. We'll head now over towards the boat launch for the dragon boats. Central Lake is once again very full. As we continue on, we can see Sunset Island and the park-like area to the west, and then the seating area for music and things like that to the east. Now we'll take a quick trip over the Olympia Recreation Center, and we can see that they're making quite a bit of progress there. I'm not sure which room is going to be which, but it's obviously going to be a very large recreation center. Also, we see Building 12, which is the new sales center for the Eastport area. There are also several other buildings under construction in downtown Eastport. The layout of the floor plan is unusual for many of them, so it will be interesting to see how they put it all together. This large bare spot along the waterfront is where the Eastport Hotel will eventually be built. They've just now started on some of the early plumbing and utility work for the hotel. Here again we can see another unusual layout or the floor plan for this building that's going to be on Bar Boulevard and the Waterfront Road, whatever they intend to name it at some point. This was shot last Sunday morning when there was no construction workers working, making it very easy to fly and get some good views of what's going on. This large section at the east end of the Olympia Recreation Center is where the indoor athletic facilities will be located. These are the pickleball and tennis courts that are being built. This small pond is supposed to be set up for remote control boats or racing. We'll fly back over the sand courts and we'll get another quick look at this unique facility that's going in Eastport. We'll move a little bit to the north and take a look at the Saint-Tropez Recreation Center and the Laurel Oak and Live Oak 9 golf courses. This is the location for the Saint-Tropez Recreation Center. It still hasn't started construction yet, but it shouldn't be too much longer. Not a whole lot has been said about this dock area that's being built and what its intended purpose is, but it looks interesting with its different bends, twists, and access points. This is the Live Oak Pitch and Putt Golf Course. And as we rotate around, we'll get a good look at the Laurel Oak Executive 9 that's currently growing in, and if I had to guess, these two courses may be opening up sometime late this year. As we rotate around, we get a good look at the village of Edenfield and some of the work that's going on there. Right now, they're putting in, once again, the deep utilities. These are the storm drains and things like that. So it will be quite a while yet before homes start being built here. Now let's move back south just a little bit and take a look at what's going on in Middleton. When we talk about Middleton, we're really talking about two different places. There's the family residential area, and then there is the downtown area. We're looking here at the downtown area, flying right down the middle of the street. This is a whole nother downtown, just like what we have in the rest of the villages with Brownwood and Lake Sumter Landing, with perhaps one exception, and that would be the nightly entertainment. This is more of a traditional downtown area with the businesses and restaurants and shops, and not so much an entertainment square. That doesn't mean it won't happen, but from what I understand, it's not going to be scheduled every night like it is in the rest of the villages. While Middleton technically isn't part of the villages, which is a big retirement community, it is still going to be very much a part of the community, as it's all interconnected through golf cart paths and roads and walking trails. It will bring a new vibrance to the community with a younger population involved. And it's going to bring some new options. I'm looking forward to the fall football games, to be able to go and watch some live football with these high school kids playing. There's a lot of commercial buildings being built in Middleton, as you can see in this video. This is one of my favorites. It's going to be the boathouse. It's supposed to be a restaurant with a boat dock. That'll be interesting. Rotating around, we see more of the commercial properties being built. Obviously, they have big plans. They haven't announced a whole lot of specifics on who's coming here, but there are things like this coffee shop on the screen here. Don't know who it's going to be. Maybe Starbucks, maybe somebody else. Who knows? The first business to open up will be Citizens First Bank, which will be located right along Central Parkway. I'm sure in the coming months there will be many more openings to announce, as there are many restaurants planned for this area, as well as quite a few shops, according to the Daily Sun. This influx of new businesses and restaurants will be a great relief for this area of the community, as the family community of Middleton continues to grow, as does the retirement communities of Moultrie Creek and Shady Brook continues to build and has people moving in. Like the Eastport segment, this segment on Middleton was shot on a Sunday morning when there was absolutely nobody around and no traffic, which gave me a lot more maneuverability, not having to worry about flying over people. This is the new Boosters restaurant and pro shop for the Shallow Creek Country Club. It's my understanding that this week the Shallow Creek Country Club will open up for public play. This building has a very modern design to it, almost reminiscent of something that Frank Lloyd Wright might have put together early in the last century. I'm sure that the opening of this new championship golf course will be met with great fanfare. I tried my best to get an opening day tee time, but that's not going to happen. It's being run by sales and marketing here in the villages, and I'm not exactly on their A-list for the Christmas party and events like this, thanks to my videos. So be it. I'm just trying to bring you the facts, and if I happen to beat them to the punch, well, shame on them, not on me. While it's difficult to say when Boosters will open, looking at the dumpster here in this shot that's overflowing with boxes, that clearly indicates a lot of unpacking of equipment and product that are going into this facility. So it's highly likely that it'll be relatively soon that this will be opening, probably a couple of weeks after the golf course opening. An area of development that sparked a lot of interest recently is the village of Wellpoint. So we're going to take a look at that now. McNeil Road has now been open for a couple of weeks. This is one of two sections of Wellpoint that are currently under construction. These will be cottage villas, which are cottage homes, smaller than designer homes, but they have a fenced-in yard. As we rotate around, we see some patio villas being built also. So that's all that's started right now, but it's going to pick up real quick here very shortly. Traveling east over McNeil Road, we see the Wellpoint Neighborhood Recreation Area and Postal Station. There's still quite a lot of work to go on this facility, but I'm sure it'll be ready by the time they have houses ready for sale and people moving in Wellpoint. While what's on the left side of McNeil Road is clearly Wellpoint, when we look to the right, it's not really clear if this is part of Oak Hollow or if it's going to be part of LaGrange. The road winding across the top of the screen is Corbin Trail.
Hi, I'm Jeff Monash with Village Air Filters. Are you tired of wasting money on throwaway paper air filters? I can save you money with my lifetime permanent washable air filters. Just buy it once and never buy another air filter again. Rinse it out and then just slide it right back in. My filters are custom made in the US and they have a lifetime warranty. Give me a call at 352-388-1230 or visit my website at villageairfilters.com.
As we come back up towards Marsh Bend Trail, I wanted to show you the multimodal path that's under construction that winds along the outside edge of Oak Hollow between it and Marsh Bend Trail. This new multimodal trail winds its way along Marsh Bend Trail all the way down to Eastport and farther south into the village of Shady Brook. This electrical substation feeds the Coleman Prison area, which can be seen in the upper right-hand corner. I had to take a wide bertha around it because Florida law prohibits me from flying over critical infrastructure, which that definitely fits the definition of critical infrastructure. The opening of this multimodal path is probably months away, as they still have a lot of landscaping to do, and as we get farther south, you'll see it's not quite yet complete. The pigtails on these residential roads clearly indicate that these are going to be either veranda or villa home communities. Now there's a big space here between this cell tower on the left and the clump of trees on the right. I don't know what's going in there, but that has some interesting potential down the road for what they might be able to do with it. But that may depend on what the cell phone companies may allow. We're coming up now on the west end of Central Lake. The multimodal path continues along the side of the road, but there's a junction here that joins it with the walking path. They'll probably put bollards up there to stop the flow of golf cart traffic. And you can also see two structures here going in. I have no idea what these are going to be. And there's also a parking area being built for golf carts. So this end of Central Lake has some interesting features coming that aren't really clear what it's going to be yet. These are water holding tanks for the city of Wildwood. The roadbed you see being cut in here in orange through the village of Lakeview is going to be a multimodal path, apparently, that goes into the area by the Eastport Hotel. There's another one of these structures. Again, I have no idea what they are. And then this multimodal path continues to wrap around the Wildwood property and then go back down towards Marsh Bend Trail. At this point, the multimodal trail is a lot less complete. You can see the equipment working on it, but you can also see an entrance being built for the village of Lakeview. And I think this is the only entrance into and out of Lakeview. The multimodal path continues to follow Marsh Bend Trail around. You can see it goes in front of the new Fire Station 48, wraps around the Bel Air Executive Golf Course, and then it goes through this multimodal tunnel and connects to the Shady Brook and Moultrie Creek area. Since we're here, we'll take a quick fly over the Bel Air Executive Golf Course. The fairways are greening up, they've started seeding the putting greens, and of course there's plenty of sand traps and water to deal with. At the north end of Bel Air Golf Course, we come to the driving range and golf academy. The golf academy is at the southern end of the driving range. Let's move south now to Shady Brook and take a look at the work happening down there. This is the village of Shady Brook Neighborhood Recreation and Postal Station area. It just opened up this past Friday, June 7th. It has the recreation amenities that we've come to expect in these neighborhood areas. An adults-only pool, some shuffleboard, cornhole, and some other things. I'm going to fly over most of the village of Shady Brook. Right now you can see a bunch of the trailers for the precast walls. We have some patio villas being built, some cottage homes being built. One of the things you'll notice, and you can see it on the map, they're using natural features now to divide the villages instead of just a line on a map. In this case, these large, long retention ponds are the demarcation between the village of Shady Brook on the left and Moultrie Creek on the right. The same thing happens on the other side of Marsh Bend Trail when we divide Water's Edge and Shady Brook. These are veranda homes which should go on sale very soon, and the houses you see under construction are all designer homes. And as we rotate around, you'll see two sets of courtyard villas also being built. If you've decided to build a custom home here in the villages, but you can't be here to watch it being built, go to my website, goldwingnut.com. I offer a service where I'll take pictures of your house under construction 2 to 3 times a week, send you the pictures and the videos, and even do a custom YouTube video for you. Go to goldwingnut.com. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the past few weeks, I've received a lot of questions and comments about the buying process here in the villages. Coming up in just a couple of weeks, I'm going to release a video on the whole buying process to help people out in understanding the different ways to buy a house here in the villages. In it, I'm going to feature my house and many of the products that my sponsors offer that I have decided to put into my home. I carefully screen each of my sponsors to make sure that their products or services are something of value that is useful to Villages residents and you, my viewers. As we cross back over these long retention ponds and Bar Boulevard, we go back into the village of Shady Brook. And yes, I know the map is a little bit wrong where it shows Water's Edge and Shady Brook. I'm going to work with Bill on that to get it straightened out. As I get lined up for the final shot of this video, which is going to be a nice high long view of Moultrie Creek, Shady Brook, and the Shallow Creek Golf Course, I just want to take a few seconds to remind you that life is short. Embrace the good things, don't dwell on the bad. Our time here and our days are very numbered, and life is good. We're very fortunate to live where we live. Thanks again for watching. I'm Don Wiley. Have a great day. See you next time.